everybody.
coming.
Welcome to Music Real Talk with Marbin.
Music
If you
Real
like
Talk,
what
yo.
you're hearing, please
Yo.
subscribe.
Turn the snare up. Yo. Turn the snare up. Yo.
All right.
Episode?
Episode
29.
29, I believe.
Yep.
Wow. We really made it this far. All right. So we just did a fucking crazy thing. We just did a masterclass on Zoom.
Everybody's like, what did you want to talk about last week?
Oh,
Nobody knows.
you forgot already?
I think I remember, but we will talk about what happened now because it's more current.
Dude, okay, so we just did this masterclass. It was so insane. It was a Zoom masterclass, and we could. I've never done one of those before. I've done plenty of Zoom private lessons.
And we did many
real masterclasses.
Many master classes, yeah.
Many a masterclass. But yeah, here, let me turn your mic up a little bit.
Turn it up. Oh, whoa, turn it up. Nice.
Much better. All right. But it was so crazy to see how disengaged some of the students were. Like, I could see them getting messages on their fucking phones and, like, just looking so sleepy, and then, like, pick up a guitar from home and start noodling. And not to even have that, like, potentially getting called out on anything when you're muted. It's impossible. There's zero learning happening this way. Like some people who saw it, I'm sure got something out of it, but for the average student in music college, this is like so bad.
Yeah.
It's really bad for you. I mean, come on. What are you hoping to gain? I would space out. I'd play the guitar too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to like sit there and listen to me talk about music. It's
like watching a super boring YouTube video. That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah, with zero production value and like...
Not edited, the sound, we had issues with the sound in the middle.
Yeah, it's so tough, man.
Yeah.
Jesus. I can't believe that this is how people are getting their education on right now. I mean, that's just insanity.
Well, I don't think we got an education before, so now even the print tense is off.
Yeah, it's just super bizarre. Anyway, so what do you want to talk about last week?
I'm not sure. Maybe about quitting. Does that make sense?
Quitting?
Yeah.
Are you quitting?
I wish.
Really?
No. Yeah, but I'm not quitting.
You wish?
Yeah, sometimes.
Why do you wish?
I don't know. It's just annoying. Spotify wouldn't put us in their playlist again.
Spotify is really the worst.
Just that no value that music has, recorded music has, and that we can do shows.
Are you feeling bitter?
It's just annoying. You know, I was thinking about it. So the reason why I was thinking about it, somebody on my feed, Marbin fan, posted, "Should I quit music? I think I'm done. Should I quit?"
Really?
Yeah, I see it once in a while.
Mm-hmm. The answer is always yes, if you're thinking about it.
Oh, no, sorry. He didn't even ask, should I quit? He said, I feel like quitting. Did anybody else ever feel like quitting?
Yeah.
Music. Any of my musician friends ever feel like quitting? That's what he asked. And a lot of musician friends were like, no, never. Music is blah, 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 blah. And I was like, puke. First of all, how can you not think about quitting? It's like, I don't get it. It's like, I see your life and I want to quit. No, for real. It's like, listen, people look at it. I don't understand. Well, I do understand, but the way people look at quitting music is so strange. It's like, oh, I wasted my time. So yeah, so what, you're going to keep wasting more time? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I feel like when it's brought up to me, I always think I'm not a highly empathetic person, so I rarely think like, should he quit? I'm thinking, what would it look like for me to quit? And I just love doing it. I couldn't imagine to do something else with my day.
Okay, so can we? To me, this is a long discussion. Can we start though in a different place? We're gonna talk about quitting. This is still.
You don't have to reassure me. Go wherever you want.
Okay, so I was thinking. I think I talked to you about it for a little bit. I was thinking about there is this disconnect that you have when you were a kid and you want to start playing. So I knew, quote unquote, that I want to be a musician when I was 14. Right? My mind would get blown by saxophone players like Charlie Parker, Coltrane. First time I learned Love Supreme, and Coleman. First time I saw him, I was like, oh my God, I have to be a saxophone player. And I would practice all the time. But I would have no idea and no understanding what it means to be a saxophone player. Now, even if I did, there's a famous story, there's a story that I tell all the time. One of my hero saxophone players named Daniel Zamir, he came to do a clinic, and he was saying how he was playing shows with his trio in New York, and if there was one person even left in the venue, by the time we were done with the show, they felt like they didn't burn hard enough. Because they weren't crazy enough, because the people could stand it, basically. And back then I was like, oh my God, this guy is rad, you know,
That's
as
so
a child.
extreme.
And now, like, first of all, nobody paid tickets to see them. So it's a free show. So because if you pay tickets, you would stay for the show, you know what you're buying tickets for.
Right.
So nobody paid tickets.
They just played a bar.
The bar owner thought, like, yeah, I will have some jazz. And then this person came and went like, until everybody left. And nobody made money, and the waitresses had to stay there because that's their job, and their bartender, and everybody hates him, and the venue owner hates him. And they're just after the set high-fiving. Yeah, we really banned. Like, okay, so it's so stupid.
Yeah.
You know, it's so stupid that I want to go back in time and kick this guy in the head.
I just want to book him a tour. Like, you know, just put him in some chains, too. Like a gig at Applebee's.
The funny thing is now that he's connected to the tap of money
in Israel.
And he actually opened another tap because he became super religious, and that was one tap, right? Because it's very unique, especially for people not from Israel. They're like, oh, look at him wearing this funny Hasidic costumes and playing music. Wow, he's really connected to the Shem, to God or whatever. He would always say, he would also say that. Right? When I met him, by the way, he wasn't religious at all. Right? He became religious. And when Dani played with him once, and he kept talking.
He kept like, I was in a rehearsal, and it'd be like, all right, so you guys played this section. This is like when we go to the B, he will improvise, and then we're gonna play the head again, and then at the end he will play, and I was like, who is he? What's going on? Everybody's just around me, like nodding, like yeah, that's like, when he'll play, and he's talking about himself, like in third body, and then I realized he thinks that God is soloing when he is playing. He is God.
But why it is not saying, hey, when he is playing comping, when he is soloing?
Yeah, why isn't he comping? That was my question too. Like we could really.
No, he told me that he's comping this time.
Yeah.
You're doing the solo and he's comping.
Yeah, sorry guys, he was a half hour late.
So he came out of the closet now.
What?
Yeah,
for real?
Yeah. So now he's a religious gay person.
For real?
Yeah.
He has kids and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's new.
Wow. Is this like a getting funding thing or?
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. They're asking to prove that you're gay. How can you prove it? So I don't know.
I think they have to, like, if he turns straight again, he has to prove it.
Yeah, I think that's yeah.
That's like, sleep with this woman right here. Show me. Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not, but it's just surprising.
But don't you think it's funny that somebody like that would play bars or jazz cafes and would scare everybody away, just got tapped into the Israeli money?
Man, Orthodox gay guys. That's a real new thing. Yeah, that's a lot of money. Well, I'm guessing that probably one source of money gets cut.
I don't, because I don't think the Orthodox community actually is the one that's supporting.
It's the government
stuff. Yeah, and governments outside of Israel, like Polish, everything that has Jewish culture in it. It's like you have him. It's perfect.
We have to transition. I have to become the world's greatest Jewish guitarist lady. Watch out, Neely. Here I come. Are there? Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Wow, you blew my mind right now. Okay, so how does this relate to quitting?
So my point was that I didn't have any clue what it means to be a musician because I didn't think about the bar situation and the real situation. I just thought about how awesome this guy was.
Yeah.
And
Wait a second, so this is like our critics were right, like, you know, because they say, they like everybody's like, this is really gay Jewish stuff. That's your biggest influence.
they didn't say it about yeah, exactly. Yeah,
What is this gay klezmer shit?
yeah. Actually,
Perfect.
yeah, I know. Even though it's not, if you listen to me now and listen to him, it's not really a big influence anymore. I feel
No, no.
But it used to be.
It's so funny.
I know.
Poetic justice.
I know, it's really funny. Anyway, keep going. So I had no idea what it means to be a musician, and you obviously didn't either. I remember when I met you
Nothing.
when you were out of Berkeley, so you were already living in the States, and you had no idea
No.
about anything. So, and it's fine, and there is a place. So you don't understand what music is. But my point is, it's not just that we didn't understand what music business is. This is not the same business
As it was.
as it was.
Right.
So nobody could have known what music business would be now. And I'm not even complaining. Like I'm just acknowledging the reality, the way it is. I remember we used to say stuff like, you know, oh, if we make as much, you know, I don't need to be rich. Like you remember, you talk to your parents. I don't need to be rich if I'm playing music. I can make like enough as a school teacher and I'll be happy. Because school teacher is always the people that say they don't make any money. Motherfucker, school teachers average something like $70,000-$80,000 a year. You know, high school teachers in the States.
Sure.
Dude, we don't make half of it. It's insane.
Yeah.
But what are we thinking? What we should have been saying? I'm okay in playing, and also we played over 2,000 shows. Most famous musicians, again, not Bob Dylan, they did like a lot of tours. I'm saying most famous musicians and jazz musicians played 30 shows a year on the road, or 40 shows a year on the road in the peak of a career, and then a few shows at home.
Right.
Like nobody played like us, like 200, 220, 230 shows every year. So something more realistic would be like, I would work more hours and make $15 an hour.
Right.
You know, it's just, I'm saying nobody thought that the pie is going to be that small.
Mm-hmm.
Like we used to be between 2009 and 2009 or 1999. I think 2009, I think 1999 to 2019, I think those are the numbers. They sold 900 million less albums a year, which is 900. I don't know how much is it. It's like 90. No, it's $9 billion less that go into the music industry.
Sure.
And people are like, yeah, but vinyl is coming back. Yeah,
Vinyl is
motherfucker,
coming
vinyl is
back.
coming back.
Yeah. It's all very, very true. and
Like when
very
you see
sad.
how much money Spotify paid in streams, like we paid, like, I don't know, 20 million in streams. Like, yeah, but we used to make 9 billion
Right.
in sales.
Okay, let's talk about non-fungible tokens for 1 second, because this was all over my newsfeed for like 5 minutes. And then I got a call from a friend. It's like, I just translated all of our music, took it out from everywhere else and put it in non-fungible tokens. They call them NFTs. They're made by a Swiss company called WiseKey. And it's basically cryptocurrency that you can't exchange one for the other. So every non-fungible token you have is unique. So you can't trade it like it's cash, like $1 for
It's
another
great
dollar.
for porn.
It's great for some things. It's really for for artwork online where you make one.
Is it, or is it for porn? You'll
It's
be the only one seeing my tits.
yeah, it's basically for porn.
It's OnlyFans. Come on.
Yeah, but anyway.
No, the Mona Lisa gif.
But immediate. It's like if you can see the Mona Lisa's tits and you're the only one. But I was so baffled by how they thought it would, because people were like, "This is the future of the music industry. This is the future of it. I'm certain." And it's like, okay, so how do you see this playing out? And I had the guy tell me what his vision of it was, and it was basically that he's going to take all of the music that him and his band put everywhere, off of everywhere online that it is, because it's not making them any money. And then they're going to, they call it mint. They're going to mint their songs and then sell it in auctions, kind of like eBay auctions, for the highest bidder for the rights, not the copyrights, so they don't own the song, but the rights to do whatever they want with the online version of that song.
Can they sell it on Bandcamp?
I think so. I mean, I'm not sure how that works actually, but the idea is people, you can just turn the whole internet into like one big junkyard.
You're telling them, I really promise I'm not gonna sell that song to anybody else. I don't understand how it works.
No, they can. The idea is that they like. If
I know, but why would they buy a song? You have it on your computer still, so you're not allowed to give it to anybody else. That's the point, right?
I don't think so. I think you just own it. You own the right to sell it. You can only sell one token. It's associated with one thing on the internet. So if you
send it to your mom, for example, check it out, and she didn't delete it from the computer.
No, but like if you shave 2 seconds off it, is it different? If you change one sound, it's not the same song. How does that work? Because I think the laws around it are non-existent yet. So there's a lot of
really silly. Either way,
it's basically make your own pyramid. That's the idea. The idea is that if I'm like, I don't even know, I'm gonna say like some reference that's totally out of date. If I'm Usher or Bruno Mars or somebody.
Bruno Mars is
current. And I'm selling something, and somebody's like, "Oh my God, I can own a Bruno Mars thing. I'm paying, I don't know, $200,000." And then another guy's like, "I'll buy it from you for $500,000." And the third guy's like, $1 million. That makes sense to me.
The idea is basically the same as if somebody sells a painting, because there's only one of a painting.
Right.
So you sell the original painting, and it's valued, like the value goes up because there are some other idiots.
Well, the idea is that you're creating such scarcity that
because they know that some rich idiot, just for the chance to say, "Oh, this is an original Chagall," he would pay millions of dollars. This is an original, just so they can say that.
One of the biggest pieces of fiction that you see around poor, unsuccessful musicians is thinking that there are rich people throwing their money in the air everywhere. Yeah. Like a lot of ideas are built on this notion that's like, oh, all you got to do is like find some stupid rich investor who's just going to give me that, and then it's going to be easy. It's like, oh, all right, good luck.
Yeah, but that specifically, you would say, if they're not, are they stupid? I think it's stupid, all the thing about the paintings.
Well, the stupid thing is to think that they are Chagall. Chagall was an amazing painter. You know what I mean? And some non-amazing painters like, Jackson Pollock, a lot of people think they're amazing. There's a lot of consensus around it. To break,
I don't care about the original Mona Lisa. Yeah. How much would I pay to say if it's the original Mona Lisa in my house? How much money would I pay?
If it had no resale value. If you could only
hang
it up.
If I can only hang it up and just for the...
Yeah, because then
it's worth a bunch actually. Because
I mean, I'm thinking this is like whenever I'm thinking about like being homeless, and then I'm thinking about like the way my mind works. I become unhomeless in like 7 moves. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna sell tickets to go to my house to see the Mona Lisa.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking that. Just everybody that comes will be like, "That's the original."
Yeah,
and we're like, "What?
Isn't it in the Louvre?"
Yeah, and it's like, "No, I bought it.
I bought it. It's mine now."
And we're like, "How did you buy it? You play Fusion." And I was like, "Oh, it was $50." I just convinced the guy to put it in NFTs, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's the thing I don't understand is how you take something that's completely worthless now, like recorded music,
right,
or like images, and make people think that they have value.
Well, I mean, what is value anymore? I mean, that's that we're, I can sit there and really make an album that has a lot of
financial value, because that's what I was saying a couple weeks ago.
Listen, we were just talking about it. Pfizer right now. This is a company that's producing vaccines at $30 a pop and selling them currently by the 10 million
To every
100
government.
million to every they have government contracts.
And we're trying to convince...
Why is their stock not going up at the rate that GameStop is? Like, what is the logic there? Like, is there no real economy left in stock? Like, is there no correlation to any real, like, anything apart from speculation? Just seems like it doesn't have value. Like, that whole Warren Buffett approach to the market seems totally irrelevant these
Yeah,
days.
like looking at the numbers of how much our company does.
Looking at something that makes a good or provides a service that you believe in the real world.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I think one thing you could really say about crypto is that is, a lot of people are saying...
But it's the future.
Well, a lot of people say it's the future. A lot of people are saying that it's a place to insure against the collapse of the dollar. All reasonable stories. But the one thing that really seems, to work with the narrative that I see the world in is that it's a battle between the real
The
world
dollar
and
is going to collapse and you're still going to have Wi-Fi on your phone to go get your crypto.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But I'm saying that there is a real world and there is an imaginary world. And that is the money in the imaginary world. And the imaginary world, the online world, is doing great. It's thriving. It's thriving where everything is fluid and everything is postmodern. And they have their own money. And they can... Really, what's happening with GameStop, you can take that fucking check that Biden sends you and put it straight into GameStop or AMC. And it's like, oh my God, I doubled my money again. I can't believe it.
Yeah, one of the things that's nice about what we're doing now is that we're out of the phones. Like, we don't look at phones. Like, to me, the more things you can do that you don't look at your phone, the better your life is.
Yeah, the happier you're going to get.
But you guys are listening and looking at it on your phone.
Well, the point is that we have a good life.
Yeah. No, but yeah, it's just terrible. But so
I'm on my phone all the time. It's a disease.
Yeah. So coming back, kind of to the point. So I'm saying nobody knew what's gonna be a musician is like.
Mm-hmm.
But there is don't believe there is not as the same amount of money that used to be in music as there is in music now. I'm not talking even because of COVID, before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
This $900 billion or whatever, no, $9 billion, $9 billion didn't replace itself. And when people go out less because they have Netflix and they have Amazon and they have less friends and they have their phone and they're addicted and want to look at the screen, there is the size of the pie shrank completely. Now, on top of it, what happened because of the internet, that's one of the things that in the app that you were talking about, in the website, that we couldn't get off the ground because we don't have an investor. Mm-hmm. But the internet is the winner takes all kind of device. So if only the biggest stuff gets up front in the internet. So jazz completely died. It used to be that we have jazz magazines that people actually read, not like the garbage you have now. Right? And it's also garbage because nobody reads it. It's kind of like a cycle. And they would recommend an album, and you're gonna go to Tower Records and buy a record, and you release a jazz album, and you don't even need a lot of people to decide that it's good. You just need to get a few reviews. Like, this magazine would like it, and this magazine, and you're going to sell like 50,000 records.
Yeah. I mean, these days, reviews, we still, for a couple of albums, we just gave up on it and didn't get any, and then we did it again, sent it to get reviewed. And my God.
The amount of nothing.
You can see in Google Trends how many people get to you from reviews in respectable.
On Bandcamp you can see it, and it's zero.
This is like places that you guys would know the names of that we got reviewed in. This is like nobody reads them. Because why would you read a fucking review anymore?
And the reviews are so stupid. Reviews, I was thinking, what's a good review? And I think a music review is where somebody that doesn't know a lot about music meets your music and the reaction to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so they bring out imagery and connections that somebody that actually knows music won't make. Because if you review music, you will just be like, oh, that's what we're doing here.
It's a connection between the literary world and the art world and the sonic world, the music world.
Yes, but I'm saying... But it's more than that, because what people do now, they just describe the music in terms to basically show like they understand the music. No,
Right.
motherfuckers, you do not understand the music.
Right. It's like I hate those. Like it starts with a waltz feel, goes to a 5/4 section.
That's 99.9999999%.
Yeah, it's like why are you
of
reviewing
reviews.
like if you want me to say like the components theoretically, I can list them.
I remember one of bad reviews that we got that was for last chapter of Dreaming, and this guy was talking about the obvious harmonic choices, like scales, obvious scale choices that we play. And I was like, dude, and then we heard him play, and dude, a blue scale is not obvious to you. You fucking suck. What are you talking about? He was playing like daily, what's his name?
I forgot.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Dirk Bailey?
Derek Bailey, yeah.
He was playing that kind of music, like I just woke up, ping pong, ping ping ping, pong, 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 tong tong tong.
Right, prepared guitar British improvisation.
Yeah, but it
style.
wasn't prepared guitar even that guy. It was just like if you take
Terrible, just
if you
terrible.
take
free
anything
jazz.
that the little things that are the little nuggets of not gold but or silver, something that's not as valuable of iron from Derek Bailey's playing.
Right.
And you take him out and you just leave a poop. That's what the guy was, right? And like, for obvious harmonic, dude, nothing is obvious to you. You're an idiot. And those reviews, it's just, it's not a review because the people that are supposed to read those reviews are not musicians. So even if you are right, it means nothing.
Yeah, it's really weird, man. I still remember reading Derek Bailey's book, and he was saying how, first of all, in free improvisation, you can't play with people more than twice or three times because you start studying each other, and it stops becoming improvised. And also that he would always go into a deep sleep in the green room, and then he would like to enter the show in a disoriented half dream state. And I just feel like these guys in the style of music are just trying their best to be homeless, and like the people that like are giving them money won't let them. It's like I'm trying to get you guys to like just leave me here, let me die, let me push a cart, and it's like, here's money.
It's like you know what it's like if you start dating and before the point where you have like a crush or something, or like you fall in love before the crush, when it's just awkward, you're like, I'm sorry, it's not awkward anymore.
Yeah, it's exactly that.
I just want to ask 1,000 ladies, how many brothers and sisters do you have? Where are you from? I've been in a town near there. We have houses. Have you ever been? What, are you from Richmond, Virginia? I've been to Baltimore.
God, one of my least favorite parts of being on the road is I love talking to fans, but there's one thing that they say that just drives me crazy when it's like, where do you live? In Chicago. And I'm like, oh no, this is happening again. It's like, I'm in Ravenswood. It's like, I used to live in the crossroads of Paulina and Roscoe. Like, great. I know what that is. It's like, and then they just try to like do this weird live Google map search with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, like you go 2 blocks up from there, you get to the train station. To the left, I used to go to the bar. It's like, wow. That's awesome.
So that's what you get, basically. That's what we want to get in dates. That's the parts of the date that everybody just wants to.
Right.
Derek Bailey wants to relive.
Like the awkward, like, let's just try to feel this person out, hear their voice, see if they're friendly.
Yeah, but you know what? But then sometimes you say, do you like, I don't really like coffee. I drink tea. Me too. Oh, we hit the same note. That's a Derek Bailey. And then you say, yeah, and it's like...
We talked about this before, like when I was talking about my free improvisation ensemble, but that's still...
L guy, me too, is like, up. It's not awkward anymore. I know too much about you.
Yeah, it's that. In the free jazz ensemble, when you hit a minor chord together, and it's just like the baboons, like it's like that transition between babooning and becoming like humans, the missing link. You're just like throwing shit around like, and then it's like, and everybody's like looking around, trying to repeat the behavior. Then somebody plays a flat second, you're back there.
Throwing poop around. Yeah, that's perfect.
Free improvisation.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I can't believe is that going to survive COVID? Are there people that can't wait to get back on the road?
I actually know some people that will all have jobs teaching. Well, how crazy is that to me? Oh, yeah, I also want to talk about that, but
Go for it.
Yeah, just go for it.
I don't know what it is.
Skip the quitting. Skip the quitting. We're going to go back to quitting.
Quitting is really dark. I actually don't think anybody should quit anything.
I was just about to say that it's not dark, that it's fine to stop. My end point was that nobody knew that the situation was going to be this shitty. Nobody knew that if you make more than minimum wage, you have to be one of the most known saxophone, guitarist, jazz fusion bands in the world. And if you don't even do that, it's like, what are you quitting? It's like, our shows are awesome. It's not just to watch, obviously, but it's to play them. Mm-hmm. To travel and play shows, it's great. To hang out together is great. But if you don't do that, like if all we were doing was playing gigs,
yeah,
it's like, what are you quitting? It's not fun anyway.
Right.
It's like I'm making music I like, I'm making albums I like, I'm playing, with musicians that I like, I'm having a good time doing it. So I make less money, but it's worth it. But for people that if it's not worth it, just stop doing it and do something else. But also understand that just because this is shit doesn't mean that other stuff is not shit.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So.
All right. What are we going to talk about? You lost it already?
No, but I'll get it back. What we were just saying before that.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, I lose stuff now immediately.
Really?
My brain is completely fried. Yeah. Wait. Teachers. I'm trying to remember.
You were just saying, I want to talk about this. Something about teaching and...
Oh, yeah. So, in the COVID thing, I was looking at teaching positions for some things. Oh, that's not how it started. Now I remember how it started.
Let's do it.
So some places, I read some article, didn't finish it, was boring, about how some places say you should cancel the bar to be a lawyer because it's racist or something. Okay?
Makes total sense.
And I remember listening to Milton Friedman talk about the bar and all that stuff and why it's not good and how all the unions keep people out, blah, 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 blah. Never mind Milton Friedman, okay? Mm-hmm. And he had a point, and it's obviously coming into the opposite direction. And then I thought, I wonder if you can take the bar without going to law school. And then I found out that yes, you actually can, and some people do.
And this is only in a few states, right?
No, now it's in a few states. It used to be everywhere because in England we didn't used to have law school when the system started or whatever here. So it would be just people that worked apprenticed at places. And still in some states you don't have to go to law school. You can study alone and do an apprenticeship or whatever, and then you take the bar. And some people do it every year and pass it, which is, in my estimation, it's like probably some of the best people that you can get. It's like that shows a lot about somebody that can cram that amount of like information, because law is ton of information, like ton of very specific information. And then I was like, is there a way? I connected it to me one looking if there is a place that I could teach just during COVID, an institution that would have me, and then nobody would have me because I don't have a master's degree or a PhD. They want at least a master's degree to apply, or a PhD. I don't have a bachelor's even, right? And I was wondering, because I can definitely teach music,
sure,
and saxophone, but I was wondering if there is a place, if there is a possibility to do it, and the answer is no. Nobody wants to have you. And as I was about to say that, it reminded me that because I know a lot of people that play completely improvised music that are professors. Oh. And sometimes I would get a student that goes to music school and he will show me stuff that professors are doing. And I'll be like, how can this person get a job?
Well,
and
it's an amazing thing because a lot of these people, it's like, it's like, do you know what an E flat Lydian scale is? And they're like, yeah. And they can write it out. Like, can you play it? It's like, You know what I mean? Maybe they can play it up and down, but they have no things in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like their theoretical knowledge. It's like, yeah, sure, I know it. I can play C Dorian, Yeah,
but can you shred in it?
Yeah, but it's like, but like, yeah, they can't move phrases. They can't do anything with it. They don't understand how to play lines to a level like of a jam musician. They can't just get on stage with some people and actually make the stuff sound good. They think they can.
But they cannot.
They cannot, and they take up space when they're talking to people who really care about that, and they turn their job into persuading them that the things they like about music are somehow lowbrow, and that they need to get into the real stuff, which is making noise that nobody likes. It's very sad.
So I was thinking, well, I don't think there's one professor of music in this country or in the world that would hear me play and test my knowledge of music and would be like, oh no, you can't go to our master's program because you don't have a bachelor in music. You have to do the bachelor's first, right? Nobody would be like, you're the worst and the most unknowing and the most ignorant out of all the master's candidate.
But you can't get a master's without a bachelor's, right?
You cannot.
You cannot. Yeah.
I think maybe some places give you exception, but I think you cannot. You definitely can't do a PhD without it.
Yeah.
But my point is that nobody would say, like, I cannot do it, but nobody would say that I know less or I play worse than, let's say, the worst student in the graduate program.
Yeah, but this is all obvious right now.
So it's not obvious though, because you have GED, right? If let's say you dropped out of high school, they don't make you go back to high school. They're like, here, take the GED test. The reason is because they don't want 22-year-old to go and mingle with 14-year-old girls.
Right.
So yes, I know it's not the same. But I thought that for me, if I wanted to teach music, they would make me go and get 2 degrees in music. Do you understand what I'm saying? We're going to be like, hey, we know that you know everything that we teach and
this is
more.
how we do it.
But you have to pay for 6 years of music school and you have to attend. This is insane.
It is insane, but that's the way things are. I mean, it evolved in a way that made sense for something else. It's music. It's people's. It created an insane situation where the people running music departments wanted to be the same as other professions. They wanted it to be run in a similar way to the English.
But in some other professions, you can actually test out of almost an entire thing.
Sure.
So I think school used to be, what does a school mean? You get a diploma. What does a diploma mean? Diploma means that they are, it's a collateral that they say that you know the requirement of this institution.
Yeah.
Right? And it will make no sense if you have, let's say, a diploma from MIT to go to a school that's not as good and be like, give me another undergraduate.
The fact that you can graduate from a jazz school without being able to play a 12-bar blues or just like, a standard without totally embarrassing yourself is a disgrace. Yeah. Like there should be, it's like a computer game. There's a boss. It's just like a guy sitting in a chair listening to you and be like, if you just fall on your face in your senior recital again and again and again, just be like, listen, dude, you suck. But go back to school.
But that makes perfect sense because that's what I'm saying. It's no longer a diploma that says you can do A, B, and C. It's a diploma that says you paid us.
Yeah.
So you paid us and you went and you were there physically.
But there's nothing on the other side.
You gave us money and time.
They don't even promise you employment in other institutions. You would have to go and get another degree for that. So it's like when you're finishing with your bachelor, it's just like it's such a anticlimactic finish line because it's like you paid, you sat through it. If you practiced, you can play. If you didn't, you can't. You know what I mean? And
but
then
it's basically all the people that can't play come together and it's like, listen, we're working really hard on being teachers. And then just some fucking guy that all he did was play shows and have a good time will come here and take our jobs just because somebody knows him and he knows more about music from playing.
Yeah.
It's like, no, fuck that. You have to have let's say that you have to have a PhD from now on to teach music in the school.
It's,
and they all did it together.
The ramen place down the street from me, I was there and there was a guy behind me in line and I was trying to order food and they built this plexiglass shield that was done, they didn't perforate it so you could hear. So you have to they're in a tank and they can't hear your orders and it happens every single order. You have to scream to the ceiling hoping that the sound will bounce back down. It's like tonkatsu. And anyway, I was like tonkatsu and the girl was like, what? It's like you need to learn how to read tonkatsu in lips, It's like, oh, tonkatsu. And I'm like looking at the guy behind me. I'm like, could you believe that? And he's like looking at me like, oh man, give him a break. It's hard times. And I literally wanted to go up there and bitch slap him.
Give him a break.
Give him a break. And it's like, this is what I feel about jazz educators now. They're like, yeah, we're trying our best to like make it work with Zoom.
Give us a break.
give us a break. It's like, dude, you are getting paid more than the ramen place. You know what I mean? Like, do find a way that makes sense or don't do it. You know what I mean? The ramen place at least gives you ramen. Like, they don't give you shit. I mean, they were barely giving you anything before, but you could network, you could be with like-minded people, you could make connections that, you could join a band, things could happen. What could happen now? You're basically on a shittier version of YouTube. Yeah. That's what you're doing. Like, it's as if Zoom, you go to this Zoom room and everything's not thought out and everybody's scrambling.
I have to say, you're not offended enough for me, and your mind is not blown enough. It's like, if I go to a school, the director of the school, and I'll be like, hey, hire me to teach saxophone. The director of the school will be like, no, because you didn't sacrifice 6 years of your life doing nothing. Actually
You're still on that, huh?
Yeah, I messaged this one guy in Florida just for the fuck of it. And I was like, hey man, I understand I don't have a degree, but I told him I taught over 150 clinics, over 200 clinics, including, and I listed a bunch of schools in the States that are considered better schools than his schools, right? And I was like, and I played 2,000 shows, and I played with legends of this music, Paul Verdico, Alan Holdsworth, I don't know, legends, a lot of them. And he was like, yeah, but you don't even have a graduate degree, you need a PhD for this. It's like, do I need a PhD? Do I need all of your students?
The funny thing is, it's to teach the curriculum.
Yeah,
but that's the thing. You're not like you're the worst thing that could happen to them.
Most of your students, the best case scenario for them is going to teach not K to 12, K to 7 or something, K to 6, and teach on recorder. It's like, why do I need a fucking PhD? But it's more than that, because knowing me and listening, you can listen to Messi Mark. Just listen to Messi Mark, to my saxophone solo. You know that I know everything already.
But it's like
he wants me to sacrifice my life to the god of music education. Mm-hmm. Because if I'm not doing it, it's like, no, we're not getting you musicians to come and take our jobs.
Well, I mean, I think it's just the marketing that they put forth is all kind of enveloping this farce, which is that somehow they are preparation for the real world, and somehow the goal is to make players and make you good at this, while the goal is to just take the people.
Suck you die.
Yeah, just take your money. That's really this is what it is. It's not us exaggerating. We're not being cynical. They are giving you stuff that is basically free, that you could find online. The harmonic knowledge it's not in some theory books. It's in every theory book. No matter who, like, they keep writing the same book again and again. Like what? Teaching you what to play over secondary dominance?
And they don't even know.
Yeah.
That's also nuts. We don't even know.
But you don't need somebody that knows. You need somebody who reads the book to you.
Yeah.
But it's like, really, it's like you're paying, at that point, you're paying for like bedtime stories. Again, and jazz, I mean, I went to jazz school and I couldn't play jazz when I left. I could play jazz when I decided I'm going to learn how to play jazz from really picking it up from the people who can play jazz, who didn't teach at jazz schools. They were on the records, thank God.
Yeah.
It would have been much tougher if there were no records, but all these guys are living with us, through that.
Yeah, it's
insane. But only if you are still at this place where you believe that there's something for real about these institutions.
And I looked at some of the teachers and what it says in their biography, and their biography is just full with I had a degree from there, studied with this guy, studied with this guy, studied with this guy, studied with this guy. Just who they studied with. Not, this guy actually played with somebody.
Yeah.
And did something. in
No,
music.
this is literally a pyramid
Because
scheme.
the jazz generation died. So it used to be like that. Even Paul Rodrigo got a job that didn't fit him as a manager, but he got a job as a drum teacher because he played with Pat Metheny. He was a
Right.
famous Grammy-winning drummer, Grammy-award-winning drummer. And the Grammy means so much, to me at least. Taylor Swift has 1,000, so...
Yeah.
So I'm sure
It must mean something.
It must mean something, and Cardi B won a Grammy, so it just means everything to me.
Yeah, well-
if I could be just in one list with Cardi B and Charlie Parker, but I don't think we didn't have a Grammy. We just gave him a Grammy afterwards. That's what they do with every award, by the way. They're like, "Oof, we want to give it to all the shitty people that are alive now." But if we do that, everybody will think our world is shit. What are we going to do? Oh, let's just give it in retrospect to everybody that's died and there's consensus that we are great.
Yeah.
So 10 Grammys to Coltrane, 20 Grammys to Charlie Parker, a Grammy to Louis Armstrong. It's like, oh.
And now a Grammy to Bruno Mars. He's like them.
Yeah. Look at the continuation of great people getting Grammys.
Right.
Mozart, 40 Grammys. Wow.
Can you give like a Grammy to like
Yes.
Mozart and Beethoven?
Sure.
I don't think they can.
Yes, they
I
can.
think they cap it off. I think they stop giving Grammys like at
No,
the turn of
they never stop.
the
They will
19th
never
century.
stop.
They
will never stop.
Wagner can get a Grammy.
I'm sure.
What? Yeah, probably not him.
Probably like the Polish Youth Orchestra for their version of Wagner's Get the Jews Out movements too. Something like that.
get the Jews out of my country, Gavald. His greatest opera. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's so messed up.
It drove me nuts. And thinking about the bar, I was like, at least in some places they still care if you know something, and they not just the ritual. They don't just keep the ritual and take all the essence out of it.
Yeah.
And that's what they do with music school. It's just the ritual and no essence. And it's just it was just. I know I'm repeating it. It was just insane to me. Insane to me that there is so many people in this world that would expect me to go 6 years to get an education that I already have
Yeah.
in order to do a job that I already done in over 200 schools, just not as a member of the faculty. It's insane.
It looks like you can't wrap your head
I
around
cannot.
this one.
It's just so
We're going
crazy.
in circles around this.
Okay,
point,
okay,
and
okay. We can-
And your mind keeps getting reblown.
Yeah, I know. It's just so crazy. It's just so crazy to me.
It is crazy, but I don't know. It's the way of the world, you know. A lot of that to me is the biggest difference between two types of people. There's the way things obviously should be, or the way things should be, and the way things are. And we inherit so many of our institutions that have probably made sense at some point for something, and now just through the process of inertia, we're handed this world that makes little sense.
It did. You remember, I talked to Sam Newsom, and he was explaining to me about the scene in the early 90s. And that's the first time when it clicked for me. We're like, oh, all the schools are preparing people for 88 to 93.
The jam session in New York.
Yeah, the jam session. That
That
you go to
doesn't-
the jam session with all the famous players, and then they pick out players, and then you get into the world of... That's how you get into the world of jazz and world of music, and it's not just for jazz. It's everybody knows everybody, and that's how it goes. But I was like, that hasn't been the world in 30 years almost,
Yeah.
and it's so weird that that's the.
I really wonder how people now, the people who are now graduating, like 21, 22-year-olds, how these people handle a music rehearsal. Because it was already starting to be, the communication was already out the window when we were coming up. Like, people would not talk to each other about modes, about the rhythms.
You cannot say anything because people get offended.
Yeah, I know, but now I think it's so much more extreme. Like, if like, let's say we got a new drummer straight out of school now, and he's like kind of really just, and I could imagine that, like, if we just rip into him a little bit, I can see some
Well,
tears.
Everett is very,
Yeah.
very sensitive.
If Everett wasn't as good as he is, he wouldn't be okay in our band if we had to correct,
All the time.
because he just intuitively does the right stuff, or stuff we like, so we never have to have real talk.
We sometimes talk to him a little bit, like we direct him like mini adjustments.
Everett is the person we talk to in the gentlest way in our history.
Yeah.
There was never a band member. But also because, first of all, I don't think he'd react well if we were mean.
So there's no reason.
So there's no reason to do it.
And we also really like how he plays. Which is,
and yeah, so it's like, that's like, we just don't want to break it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I could totally see, especially like, with people who are supposed to know harmony and you're trying to play with, how things are untalkable. Like a lot of things you just cannot discuss. But I don't know. I saw some kids playing, somebody told me on my live feed on YouTube that I should try to do it on Reddit. And I was looking. There was this jazz band playing there. And it was amazing to watch because they sounded okay. And like a singer, guitar player, piano, and upright. And there were like, I don't forget, like 20,000 people watching. And like a super chat every 2 seconds of like $10,
like
just raking in like probably $2-3 like for an hour set on.
How weird is it? Because the world of content, probably nobody set for the entire set.
Yeah, very few people.
It's crazy because those people probably can't sell 20 tickets in their hometown.
No, there's no way. But it's like
But for 5 minutes each. If they can get 20,000 people to pass by.
Well, once you're in like that, the autosphere of internet fame, you know what I mean? Like the front page of YouTube, front page of like the Reddit live feed. Like when you're up on the big stage online, it's just like, that's the modern belly of the beast. It's like just, you get, it's just like panhandling for the masses.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even in jazz, I mean, it was weird, It was they're all okay musicians, like playing some real like Autumn Leaves and all the things you are, like just the most standards there are, but just positioned in this place where people are just dumping money into it.
Yeah, and it's also crazy because somebody like you, your content is not as high level content in the sense that you're not 4 people doing a full show, so to speak, with a lady that looks nice.
Right.
You're just a guy jamming, sometimes with tracks. Mm-hmm. And doesn't matter how hard you shred, it doesn't have the same effect as content goes.
No.
And also,
it will never.
You will not get as many people that don't know you to click on you. That's another thing. Like if you see a lady that looks nice and people are playing and dress all time, people would press it.
Can I just have like a thumbnail of hot chicks?
Yeah.
Or would people be deceived? Feel bad?
I feel like they would just know. You know what you should do? I tell you what you should really do. You should really try that. You should take your picture, how they do the thing that's like what your female version would be like, and do like your female version and put your head on like some hot lady tits, and then have yourself, and then you'll be just like fluid. You are a woman or you're a guy.
That sounds like it could really catch. I'm into that idea.
Yeah, or do what we used to plan, just do it in a burqa.
Yeah, I think we talked about it before, but our plan was to go in the studio, 4 of us, full on burqa, just shredding and being like, make clickbait. Can't believe these Muslim women shred so hard.
I had so much time to learn how to shred because I couldn't drive.
In my country, they cut my clitoris off.
They don't let you.
All I get pleasure from is the saxophone.
They did not let. My husband doesn't let me drive a camel, so I just stay at home and shred.
Is that racist?
Against which race?
Camels.
Yeah, sure.
Funny. But yeah,
it would have been amazing.
Yeah, we would have been huge. Could you imagine showing up in like Arkansas? All of us like get out of the van in burqas.
Oh, we having burqas in the van? Like nobody can see us?
No, that has to be our professional trademark.
I would, yeah.
No, I feel like it should be called the Muslim Shred Sisters.
No.
Sharia Shred.
Yeah, exactly.
Sharia Shred.
Sharia Shred Sisters.
The Sharia Shred sisters.
And you always go to Seattle and have a show with a machete.
That'd be amazing.
Give me my cat, infidel. That would have been great.
That would have been amazing.
I think we would have been so much more famous if we did that.
Like the African chapter and Redline videos, just full on burqa.
Yeah.
So good.
But now we would have been cancelled.
Yeah. It wouldn't have taken long. I mean, they're fine. I mean, yeah, they're canceling everybody. I still can't believe our Instagram's down. I can't get it back. There's like a learn more feature, and you fill out this form, and then there's like error, and that's the end of that.
And did you learn more?
I learned that you better watch what you say on these platforms, or
Otsuki will come for you.
Yeah, Zaki just does not like this. Yeah, it's all fucked up. Anyways, what else were we going to talk about? The music camp. How cool would that be? Yeah, I think we should do it. So we were talking about this. There's this festival.
We're going to start our own music
Ohio.
festival.
Yeah, well, there's a campground there.
There's a campground, yeah.
There's a campground there, and they offered us to do a Marbin festival. And we want to do like a 3-day thing where we play every night, some other bands play, and sell VIP passes, like 2 types of passes. One, and we'll have like a tent there, and during the day it will all be master classes with the whole band, and whoever comes to the festival and wants to pay a little more for that. And then we'd have like a thing.
Yeah, but it'll be intense learning. It'll be like 6 hours a day or something like that.
Yeah, just nonstop.
And we're gonna, and it's gonna include lodging or camping, depends on how much you want to pay, and meals, 4 meals a day.
Yeah, like vouchers for meals at the food vendors' trucks, or you could just bring your own food and.
Obviously, yeah.
But yeah, we're really thinking about doing it. I think this is the perfect way.
BYOD.
Bring your own dick.
Bags.
Yeah. But yeah, I think
it'll be awesome. And if it's gonna
nice
work out, we
experience.
might look to do it in more locations, maybe. But we need to see it working out first.
Yeah.
I think it'll be great. I think it's a great idea, and he was really into it, the guy. So
yeah. I mean, I love the idea of hippie festival. It's like building your own refugee camp. But
hippie festivals can be funny. It can be fun, and that
the best times I've had at hippie festivals.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't mind doing that, especially if we have somebody to drive us back and forth to the hotel, or if we camp there, which I don't know if we will, because
I think most people would drive there, not fly.
I would still have somebody that's like every 2
Like a
hours
shuttle?
would go back. Yeah.
No, people can Uber. It's not.
No, you can't. Not from there.
No. No.
No, I will do that. We'll talk about the details.
Yeah.
But I'm saying then we can really get fucked up and have a good time.
Yeah.
That's a lot. What I was saying.
I haven't been partying at all. I've just been going to sleep early and waking up
obviously.
early.
Yeah, obviously. You're not on the road.
Yeah, it's like I just.
We'll do it again when we're on the road, the two of us.
We're going on a backyard tour, May 1st.
But yeah, if you guys are interested in the music camp idea, it's not going to be that expensive. We didn't price it out yet, but it's...
Yeah, we're going to make it super affordable.
Yeah, super affordable.
Because when we tried to do like a music camp without having a campground and a festival, it was just crazy to do it in a city.
Well, we decided that it doesn't make any sense for us to do it without including food and lodging.
Right.
And in a city, it's too expensive.
Yeah, but it could be a lot of fun to do it that way.
And I think the experience will be better too. Just for everybody, because I think a lot of people or friends who've never been to a hippie
But
festival.
also, it's like I'm not gonna like make handouts for people and like draw chord diagrams. That's not how we think about things.
Yeah.
It's not our vibe, and it's not how we teach. And I think that you have to be kind of give people like something very tangible when you're doing like master classy type things, to where people feel like it's like, oh my god, he gave me 3 pieces of paper, that was so worth it. But in the context of like a festival like that in a campground, where it's really
I think it'll be good.
classes,
I think it
it'll be
really
great.
fits us better. So
Yeah.
I think it'll be
and
good.
we'll have John and Everett there. Everybody gets to play.
That's another thing that I was thinking about. So yeah, I think it's a good idea and we should try it. So I'm talking to the guy this weekend, and we're trying to
Hopefully
figure out.
August.
Yeah, August for sure. One of the weekends. We'll just decide on the weekend.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
We got to do it. We got to do it.
So if you guys are interested at all, or you have good ideas what would make you interested in something like that, let us know.
Yeah, it's crazy that we're about to go on the road again for a little bit.
Yeah.
Me and Dani are half vaccinated. I'm getting my second dose on Monday. Are people gonna still talk to us about that? Do you think?
I hope that no. That's one of my hopes.
Do you think people are gonna be like, "You're killing Grandma"? Just a little bit longer.
Like last time.
Just a little.
Just
bit,
a little bit.
Just a little bit longer.
We're almost there. We're almost there.
Almost
14 more years to slow the spread. Almost there. Doom and gloom.
Yeah.
That little crying lady. Anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I loved about that video of her crying, by the way? Which is like, hey, I'm gonna do something that how did she start? It's very important for people to understand how the situation can be very dire. Now I'm gonna do something I shouldn't do, which is go off script. I am a mother and a sister. It's like keep reading from the script. Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's still the script. It's like I'm gonna go off script. That was also in the script.
I don't know, man. It's
No, we're fucking doing it. So fuck that lady.
fuck everybody.
Well, we did it last year.
Yeah. Well,
but now I'm like, extra fuck everybody.
Dude.
We're vaccinated. Fuck everybody. Even because we were really worried.
I'm just tired of everybody.
We were worried that if we'll do a show and somebody would be like, I have COVID, like, you gave us COVID. I was like, now it's like, no, we are vaccinated. We're good.
Yeah.
So take it with somebody else.
It hasn't been proven.
It has been proven. It's not true.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't transmit it. That's why if you. Even the government that likes you to stay home, to be safe, even they said that you don't have to quarantine if you're vaccinated and you're in touch with somebody that has COVID. So.
Okay. Well, we're going to do just that then.
Yeah. Actually, Biden told me that specifically because I can hear him now through my first dose. So don't worry, guys.
He's whispering in your ear.
Yeah. I actually was talking to Major.
To what?
We are Major. Major Biden.
Well, who's Major?
His dog.
Oh.
That's why we had a fight, and then he went and bit another person. It's because he had a fight. Anyway.
Yeah.
No, we're doing it.
Yeah. Fuck.
We're doing it back here too. Fuck everything. So
For sure.
again, and we did it last year, so really fuck
Yeah,
everything.
we really did it like when it was like there was no vaccine.
Yeah.
And that was great. That was a lot of fun. It was interesting to see the states during that time, like town to town to town to town, like how crazy it was, how terrifying some cities became. Jesus Christ!
How many?
I'll never forget Minneapolis. My God, Minneapolis!
Yeah. Well,
what happened to Minneapolis? Oh my God! What a difference a year makes. Because that was a fine place.
A really cool city.
A really cool
one
city.
of the coolest cities in the
Really
Midwest, for
scary to be in. Also, where were we when we had like
Cincinnati.
Pokemon? Yeah, Cincinnati, which always was kind of on the shady side.
Yeah, but the people that are willing to go outside in big cities became just like the people who don't give a shit. They're like homeless people. And they just took over the public
Well,
space.
this homeless zombie phenomenon has been going on for quite a while,
Years.
intensifying, but I can't imagine what it's like right now. And like, could you imagine what this year is in the West Coast?
Whoa, man, Santa Cruz or Portland or something?
Or Portland, Santa Cruz, like going to San Francisco, Oakland, like that whole, even LA probably is crazy.
That's
it was
one-
so bad before. I can't imagine how bad it
You
is
see,
now.
that's one of the things that I'm really bummed out. It's always nice. I always want to dream about moving somewhere. And since they just completely destroyed the West Coast,
Yeah.
I can't even dream about going anywhere because I don't want to go anywhere that's not warm.
Right.
And then the West Coast has the best weather, and it's like
Nashville, Austin.
yeah, Austin, I guess.
Nashville, Austin. Some places in Arizona weren't bad. And some
yeah,
places in
Yeah, what Flagstaff or something?
yeah, Flagstaff. Not
Yeah.
even Flagstaff. Like some like I thought like Santa Fe area is really nice. Silver City's okay.
Silver City?
Not Silver City, sorry, the other one.
Truth or Consequences. That city is just hilarious. I only can see, I can not see myself live.
No.
It's just so hilarious, this place. I love it. New Mexico,
Taos.
some places in New Mexico, they don't have yards. It's like there's some desert, and then they just scatter houses around in the desert. And there's no, it doesn't start or end.
Well, Truth or Consequences, there are stories that they used to be called Hot Springs, and there was a TV show or a radio show, I don't know, in the 50s called Truth or Consequences, and the first town to rename their town
After
the show would have like the show come there and do something, so they renamed the town Truth or Consequences.
Come back and take a huge dump.
Yeah, ironically, it's right by Elephant Butt.
Yeah.
It's the next town over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that was the
it's
drive
weird, but
where we
yeah.
were the closest to run out of gas.
Who knows what the drive we were really the closest. Oh, no, it wasn't.
Oh, I remember when we were on zero.
Forever, when we went from Spearfish, South Dakota to Sheridan, Wyoming.
Yeah.
And you were like, there have to be somewhere in these mountains that nobody lives in. It's so empty. We have to. Also, wait, what about when we were on tour, just the two of us, and we got stuck in detours through Wyoming? Because usually you go on 80, so you're like,
Well, we had the smallest tank in the car. We also we left with a full tank and ran out of gas, like in the way to Yellowstone.
Yeah, because we weren't going to Yellowstone, we were going on 80, so we kept having to
There was a big
us
storm going through
in the mountains.
Yeah.
That was so crazy because it was 80 all day long, and it was 2 in the evening to super hot, and then the temperature dropped in one fell swoop of like a gust of wind.
It was like 3 hours.
Like no, before that, don't you remember when this wind
knocked
came?
off like the
everything
roof
and
thing.
our backyard show stopped. It was so cold all of a sudden, and then by the time we left in the morning, it was already snowing.
Yeah. And and we couldn't make it to the gig. We had to drive 19 hours.
Yeah,
it
it
was insane.
sucked.
It was an insane day.
Yeah, so we got stuck in those towns in Wyoming that I don't understand how is the town. We don't have a grocery store. We don't have anything.
Yeah, just
I think
a row of
I think
houses.
they started with 40,000 people, and you just eat your neighbor when you're hungry, and whoever stays last is the mayor.
Very true.
Like, what would we do? You remember the town I'm talking
Yeah.
about? That it said there is a gas station,
Yeah.
and we went through the entire town. The entire town is a block,
Uh-huh.
and then we were like, "There's no gas station here."
There probably was at some point, but
No, not in the town.
no.
No, there was no town. We went to the entire town. We have a sign that says "Welcome to Bumfuck whatever," and then you drive a block and it says you now live in Bumfuck.
Yeah.
And there is nothing before or after.
Yeah, that was a fucked up day, man.
Yeah,
That's the stuff.
sucked.
Dude, yeah, we almost ran out of gas.
We
a
missed
lot
the
of
show.
times. Yeah, it was the first time we missed
No,
a show in a long time.
Yeah. And one of I can only remember 3 times in our history. that
I remember
missed
the
show.
Reno show,
Yeah.
the first show in Reno, where it was always the same story.
Do you
where, like,
remember
we-
the Madison show that we missed?
No.
We had a show with Justin as a drummer, and he had an event
Oh,
before,
yes.
and we just went outside. I can't believe we didn't fire him just after, because we couldn't, because he was too good to fire for what we could afford.
Yeah, he told us it would, like they could do 2 gigs in the same day.
And he was like, "Yeah, my gig is done at 7." And I was like, "Okay, it's in Madison. No, not 7. My gig is done at like 5, and our show is at 9 in Madison." So we're like, "Oh yeah, we can make it. We'll just come pick you up from the gig." And we got there, and we were waiting in the car. And it's like, it's 5, and he's not answering. And it's like, time goes by, it's 5:40. And it's like, "Justin, what's going on? We won't have time." And it's like, "Oh, I'm good. It's a little bit longer." And it's nothing, and nothing, and nothing, and another hour. And it's already 7. And it's like, "Oh, well, we can make it to the second set." And he just would not come out.
Yeah, he
And-
came out at like 8, and we missed the show.
Yeah, and Dani and I went to divert, just the 2 of us. No, we didn't get him. We just the 2 of us. And because like, we'll go play as a duo, which is, we didn't even have Gypsy Jazz back then. And it was just too late, and we turned around and came back, went home.
Yeah.
So that was another show we missed.
Yeah, that was years.
It's so
and years
crazy
ago.
to be young. You're just so crazy. Oh, and now I remember 2 more shows we missed.
Which ones?
We had this one show that you listed wrong.
Yes, that was my fault.
We
We drove to Evansville, Indiana, instead of Fort Wayne.
yeah.
And we found out like when we were
How big Indiana is.
we found out when we were really almost to Evansville that like it's about to start there. That was one. What's the other one?
And the other one, wait, I'm trying to remember.
We had a lot of times where we showed up and there was no show.
Yeah, obviously. Oh, there was one time that we just forgot that there is a show in Marion or something in Southern Illinois. And we were like, oh, it's 3 hours away. It's like, well, it's 6-hour drive. So that happened once too.
Yeah.
It's amazing how little...
It almost didn't happen to us. We were very good about it.
Yeah,
through the
one in
years.
2015.
We took it super seriously.
Yeah.
Like we've seen, dude, do you remember that thing at Steve's Guitars with the band?
I think we talked about it. We can talk about it again. That's like one of the craziest things that ever happened. Wait, is it 3 already?
Yeah, I think so. Okay.
Oh shit, I have to go.
We're going to wrap this up. So
next week we'll talk about this interesting story that we will not remember.
Right. Go to buy our music at marbinmusic.bandcamp.com. Subscribe, hit the bell, youtube.com/marbinmusic. Facebook.com/marbinmusic is where we hang out too. And subscribe to the podcast, of course. And we're starting to gig, so we have shows coming up in Columbus, Ohio, in
Fort Wayne,
Chicago,
Indiana.
Yeah, Reggie's in Chicago, Fort Wayne,
Madison,
Indiana.
Wisconsin.
Right. What else? Another Ohio one, no?
Davenport,
Cincinnati. Get tickets in advance. Seating is very limited.
Cincinnati, we're doing 2 shows the same night, and if we sell out both shows, it's less than the amount of people that came to our last show in Cincinnati during COVID. So hopefully...
Yeah. All right. I'll see you guys then.